At outside hitter, a 5'10" junior, number 1, Carson Lee. At outside hitter, a 6' junior, number 2, TJ Sedek. At right side hitter, a 6'1" senior, number 4, Wendell Namohala. At setter, a 6' junior, number 5, Rex Paguragan. At libero, 5'8" junior, number 7, Blaze Arakawa. At middle blocker, a 6' freshman, number 9, Trip Lee. And at right side hitter, a 6'2" sophomore, number 14, Pupu Sapulona. The head coach for the Crusaders is Keenan Paulos. And now here's the starting lineup for the University Laboratory Junior Bowls. At libero, a 5'8" freshman, number 2, Kenna Kitan. At setter, a 5'8" sophomore, number 11, Kavehi Kaneakua. At middle and outside, a 5'10" freshman, number 14, Todd McKinney. At setter and outside, a 6' junior, number 22, Micah Nakasato. At middle and outside, a 6'6" freshman, number 23, Trey Ambrosich. At outside hitter, a 6'3" sophomore, number 24, Koa Laboy. And at middle blocker, a 6' senior, number 30, Josiah Jerome. The head coach for the Junior Bowls is Jonah Reyes.
Gontai, thank you so much for the Zippies team introductions. Pretty good crowd here for this Division II championship match. These teams really sweating out during the regular season. But right now, the Junior Bowl is going for the sweep against their Division II rivals in St. Louis. Let's get to our officials this evening. I'll tell you what, through their efforts and hard work, shout out to all the great men and women that wear the white polos. They've been awesome throughout the year. No different with Randy Rubinall on the tower and Bonnie Geisen down on the floor. Lamemento Palama just entered the Canada Activity Center, and so we are slowly piecing together our 4 teams in this championship. History going to be made one way or another for these programs, and this is massive for their teams.
Yeah, and you talked about the flooring, right? You can really notice it. If we can get up close on the stomp, if either of these teams, I went and tested it out between the last match and this one, and my jump doubled. It went from 2 inches to 4 inches. So I tell you, if it can do that for a 50-year-old, what do you think it's going to do for Poo-Poo out there in St. Louis?
Yeah, there have been some stomps and backflips during team huddles. They're waiting for Carson Lee to get into the huddle here for St. Louis. St. Louis with a ton of talent on this team, according to Keaton Paulos, and it's very sentimental because a lot of these guys, he kind of knew them growing up. And of course, he got text messages earlier today and earlier this week from his grandfather, his father. In fact, he's wearing his graduation lei as well to kind of honor St. Louis. He loves that program so much, and the Brotherhood's so lucky to have Keaton Paulos there, as also a dean of students. for STL.
Yeah, he's a lot younger than me. Anything that I was wearing during graduation, it's dusty and it's crumbled away, and yeah.
It's whittled.
He's a young guy.
Yeah. Like both of these coaches, very young and very talented at what they do. All ILH final, and Waimea had a good showing this year.
Right.
Waimea and Radford had excellent showings this year as well. It now rests on these programs to try and succeed. You can see the floor. And there are posts in the floor here, which they use to put up nets in the opposite direction. And the width of the floor, they're making sure all of those are covered and cleared. And we're ready to go. Like a Nakasato, behind the line.
He's a stud. He might be the most skilled player on either team here. Do a lot of different things. He's a setter. He can pass. He can hit.
The consolation games, there weren't any delays. And the floor appeared to be okay.
You know, it's just high drama, bright lights. Felipe in the stands working his thing. So people want to make sure it's up to your level.
What are you talking about, my God? It's been a long drive, by the way, for a lot of people that have made the pilgrimage here.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So your drone footage, I think that the Hawaii Tourism Authority should sponsor you, because I'll tell you, there's people across the country who are tuning into this right now, and they're seeing your drone footage, and tell me they're not going to want to come out here and stay at the brand new hotel that they built out here, right in Laie.
First off, real quick, they're taping the floor right now to make sure that everything is flush for the safety of the players. Secondly, I don't fly the drone. Who knows who flies the drone? It could be somebody else. I fly the drone.
You fly the drone. Let's be honest. Yeah.
We mentioned Keaton Palos and we mentioned Jonah Reyes. All of them coming from very, very athletic and talented coaching bloodlines as well. And for Keaton Palos, he says it's kind of nervous, just like his playing days too.
Yeah, you can tell the energy, right? Just bouncing up. Both guys, though, even Jonah Reyes. Take a look at him pacing the sidelines. He was connecting with his players throughout the entire introductions.
Nakasato gets us going for the Division II championship. Goes right to Paguragat, and the tip right there from Trip Lee ends up in the hands for a swinging Kaniakua. A point here for the Crusaders.
If I had to guess what's going to happen early on, I think we're going to see a lot of hitting errors. We're going to see a lot of service errors that are going long because everyone's just so full of adrenaline and excitement.
University Laboratory historically this year has had slow starts in matches. So that's just the way it's gone for our team, says Jonah Reyes. This one punched long, and it goes out.
You got that extra adrenaline. The ball's going 20% farther than you think it is, so you really have to gauge it back in. How many times you get to play for a state championships? Not very often. You know who might be the guy who has the most experience in an atmosphere like this? Pupu.
Yeah. After winning 2 consecutive basketball state championships, Blas, who's been a sniper behind the service line, able to force a point here for the Junior Bows.
It's really going to be who can settle in, which coach can help their team facilitate a little bit more normalcy. Easier said than done.
Both of these teams getting here about 90 minutes prior to their match time. Blas is just a bundle of energy, good solid passer as well. He brings a lot of stability in the back row for Reyes' crew. This one gets over to Carson Lee. A fling out there for Setic. That one dug up right there by Blas. The set goes to LeBoy for his first swing. And he scores.
Love his energy. Super fluid. Really nice arm. Great vision. Not trying to do too much.
LeBoy, who participated in basketball earlier this year, and a rotation error against St. Louis. 4-1. University Laboratory, who swept St. Louis the first time around, game 3 of the year. Then a few games ago, in fact, to end the ILH campaign, able to win that one in 5.
So many connections.
Yeah, it's almost hard to keep track of all of them, too.
Right? Yeah, I got all these lines going on in my head.
There's TJ Setic, who punches this one long.
We've had 7 serves now, 3 of them long, right? 3 long serves and another long, or another 1 or 2 long hits. There's just so. I think back on my first Olympic broadcast ever, right? Like doing something for the first time, doing something that you're so excited and anticipated. All I had to say was like, "Welcome to Horse Guards Parade." I'm Kevin Wong. The U.S. is looking great. It took me 20 tries to do that right? Just because I was out of my mind and I was just too fired up.
And Brozic got it across. The set goes to Sepulona. That one stabbed up in the air by Kaniakua. It ends up down. Sepulona, they had to kind of get the family clearance to play volleyball this year. The idea was he was going to play basketball again. And of course, his wonderful mother, who's always been a great supporter, said, Mom says okay.
Yeah.
Pupu's in.
Mama knows best. Look at his energy, right? Like he's been under the bright lights a number of times.
Jay Park able to put that one back in play. This one hit by Ambrozic, but it goes into the net after a tough second contact from Kaniakua.
So we talked about Nohea Tano, the University of Hawaii star. Ambrozic, his mom, Carrie Anderson, was a top setter, still in the University of Hawaii record books, all-time assist, top 10 in that department.
There's Laboy, Kaniakua. Here's Ambrozic into the double block. That one recovered there by Kitan. Tight at the net, they can't get it across. And it's a 4-0 mini run here for St. Louis.
If I'm St. Louis, I'm going to set Pupu as many times as possible. And then take a look at that. That is about as good a block as you can have. Namohala just closing. I'll tell you what, that's exciting. Came out of nowhere.
Off Laboy. Back to Laboy. Oh, down the line. Woo!
This is my greatest fear. I still twitch at night thinking about playing defense down the line, and all of a sudden this hit's coming down quick. There's not a lot of time, right? There's not a lot of time because the court is shrunken down the line. It's a little bit further in the cross court.
And for some of these teams in the tournament, this is their 3rd different venue in as many days. Laboy gets that one down. Jonah Reyes says, D1, D2, my vote for player of the year is Koa Laboy.
Wow. This is a tough serve, kind of a hybrid, a little bit of top spin, a little bit more of a side spin. That's the screwball, right? Don't see that very often at this level.
The boy who helped take his basketball team to the state final, falling up a little short to Kohala. Setic, a run down there from Arakawa, but they can't get it across.
So in back-to-back plays, he shows the screwball and then the slider on the very next play. And when you're in the back there passing, all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what the trajectory is going to look like. I don't know what the spin's going to look like.
It's now 3 aces for the junior Bows and a 3-point lead. Laboy gets it across right to Setic. The set goes to Carson Lee. Got it. Going hypotenuse for the kill.
Listed at 5'10" and just perfect use of the entire jump. Take a look at that. Great vision, great coordination, the timing, right? Just timing it perfectly at the height of his jump.
Sepulona puts it back in play. There's Kitan. Kaniakua sets it for Ambrozic's swing, dug up there by Sepulona. Carson Lee sees it. Off of Ambrozic, then Laboy in the back row. Kaniakua feeds outside, Nakasato. He's just Mr. Consistent on this team here for University Laboratory.
Really nice turn down the line as well. He's facing towards the right side of the court, spinning it down the left side of the court.
Kitan got it across, and in the middle, Namohala gets a triple block. Kitan is there. Nakasato. Oh, good dig there from Setic. The Oregon goes to Lee, and off the block and out. His second kill today.
See that rotation defense from St. Louis. Pupu's going to get all the tips, and then doing a really nice job of filling in the line there.
Yeah, Setic, the great football stud in there. In fact, there's a number of football guys on this St. Louis team to the point where Keenan Paulos, early on in the season, in fact, before the preseason, addressed the team and said, okay, guys, welcome to volleyball. This is a football. This is a volleyball. Football, volleyball. Worked out pretty well for this team.
I think a big storyline tonight as well is going to be Trey Ambrosic. He's just a freshman, has such a huge potential, such huge upside, but these are bright lights to face as a freshman, right? So how soon can he get breathing and playing at a high clip? It's been so good all year long.
Blaze Arakawa got it to LeBoy. Overpass. That one almost hit down there by Trip Lee. Here comes Nakasato. Off the cable and down.
And now looking over at Paulos, they've been giving a little bit of line to Nakasato. You can see they're trying to funnel it down the line to the defense. But on the next one, he said, hey, move the set, move the block out to the line. Let's try to get a little bit better of a lineup.
University Laboratory leading by 3. They led by as many as 4 here earlier in the set. Sepulona running after it and Poi pounding that one down.
The D-ball. That's like Rado Parapunov, right? Last year, I missed that guy.
Yeah.
Lefty on the right side. It's just so much easier to set. That is not an easy swing. Pupu making it look easy.
Get over the top there by Perguragan. In the middle was McKinney and a net called against St. Louis. It'll be a point here for the junior Bows.
So Pupu, he played for Spike and Serve for a year, and I remember this big, formidable athlete guy coming in. And what I remember most about him is this blend of confidence and humility. This is a humble guy.
No, and you're exactly right, Kev. And that's what St. Louis kind of envisions their student athletes to be, and Pupu is the very definition of that. Trip from the middle, able to get that one off the block.
Trip Lee's the real deal in the middle. This is a guy, a lot of experience playing national tournaments. Maybe the most experienced player on this St. Louis team. They're gonna have to pass well, right? We've seen it so many times. In order to get the middle involved, you gotta pass.
Setic puts it across. Kaniakua goes right to a touching Jerome. They fling it away to Sepulona. Good diving dig there from Nakasato sliding. LeBoy off the double block. Picked up there by Jerome. Back to Koa LeBoy. Off the high hands and got that one down.
We've done a lot of D2 tournaments. This is a high level.
This is a big swing from Sepulona, but an even better dig from Micah Nakasato. LeBoy, first time didn't go. You darn believe the second one will. Timeout.
It's new, delicious, and adorable. Introducing the Enjoy Maneki Neko 3D Gummy. 3 lucky cat poses, pineapple, lychee, and plum ume. The most sought-after candy is finally here. Get your Enjoy Maneki Neko 3D Gummy today. It's time to enjoy life. Extra, extra, big news here. Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union savings certificate rate is jumping up to 4.5% per year. That's right, get the highest rate in town. Don't miss your chance to earn more. Earn 4.5% on a 15-month certificate with a $2,000 minimum. Get your Hi-Fi FCU extra rate today. Check out Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union at hificu.com. New money only. Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union. Here for all your money needs for life.
Hardware Hawaii to me is, they've been a faithful friend.
You can't find another place like this. I don't think so.
That's what I really like about it. I like the personal years. I like the integrity here.
I've been doing business with them for 40 years. And I'm still here.
Hardware Hawaii. Contractor's choice.
Inside every bag of tropical Hawaii gummies is a delicious burst of your favorite tropical flavors. Juicy pineapple, sweet passion fruit, fragrant lychee, tart ume, and more. Enjoy tropical Hawaii today. It's time to enjoy life.
Mike's Engraving and Trophies, the official trophy provider for Spectrum OC16 Sports. For all your special achievements, call Ryan at Mike's Engraving and Trophies. They're located in Aiea. The teams over the last 10 points have traded wins there. They've alternated scores of the last 10 points, but the lead currently here for University Laboratory. hitting 214. But St. Louis actually hitting a higher percentage at 308. Carson Lee. Oh, Carson!
Oh my God.
A car crash. Woo!
That was a blur, right? Like, that was a blur. He was hitting the ball down before the block was even off the ground. Oh my gosh. You know, I remember the first time I played on a bouncy floor, and it was basketball, and I dunked pretty easily. Like, you just it gets the adrenaline going, right? That's the floor we have here tonight.
Not to be outdone, LeBoy tries to answer. He knocked over a camera in the process as that one goes out.
You know, you look at the stats early on, both teams hitting high percentages. St. Louis has the advantage in the blocking department, the defensive advantage for University Laboratory.
Piton, Ganiakua, LeBoy right back to him off the block of Namohala, but a net called against St. Louis. It's on Namohala.
I think the difference so far has been the service pressure from University. 3 aces. St. Louis still looking for their first.
LeBoy back behind the line. Part of about 4 different basketball players are a part of this crew. All of them winning an intermediate basketball championship. Namohala gets a triple block and he goes off and out. They've been reading into him after watching him in the semifinals kind of tear Aiea up yesterday in the semis. Couldn't turn this one fair though.
It's a hard matchup from Namohala. He's got 3 blockers up in front. It'll be interesting to pay attention to that.
Sepulona shoots that one long.
So this, it's not quite a quick one. It's like a 1.5. It's a little bit higher, so it gives the time for the blockers to get over there. 6 hands across.
Piton got it over right to Arakawa. Lee got it again. Did he go over the line?
Yeah.
Yep, over the center line.
I'll tell you, I don't know how someone didn't get hurt on that. That's a really scary, dangerous play.
Yeah.
Jumps so high. Maybe that was why, because he actually lands after, but he lands like both legs far over under the net.
Oh, wow. So Oregon right to Namohala, tries to tip it into the double block. Nakasato was there. He gets a re-tee. And good pickup there from Paguragan, right to Lee. Oh!
Lee might just be the X factor here tonight, right? He's the guy who's known more for the passing, known more for the defense. He's the dig leader of this team, but he's showing you a lot of versatility in the offensive department.
Lee gets it right to LeBoy. Nakasato. Good pickup there from Setic. Paguragan now Lee for the back row. This one is out. Lee, who's an excellent photographer as well, by the way. Really putting a stamp on this first set.
I'm telling you right now that even though they won both of the matchups earlier in the year, University did, this is a pick'em. You can see this is a really good St. Louis team coming into their own.
Getting 500 now is Lee, and this one back in play. Ambrosius got a running start, and he hit it out. And the set is tied at 16.
So much upside on this kid, right? He's a freshman, he's 6'6". Dad was a big guy, basketball player, Eric.
Here's Lee. Ganiakua sets it right to the middle for a touching McKinney, who couldn't get that one over the cross. And it'll be a St. Louis point. Called for the lift.
And you can see right now Nakasato really slowing things down, talking to the troops. That's really what you look for, right? Is who can calm people down, who can get a little bit more of a breath in, a little more confidence.
Short serve, LeBoy, Ganiakua, Nakasato into the block, covered by Kitan. A bump from McKinney, but it goes a tad off for LeBoy to free ball it over. And wow, how about Paguragan to just reverse it home, and a timeout for the Junior Bows. St. Louis fans rise to their feet. It's a 6-0 St. Louis run to lead by 2.
Hey, what you doing? That's my poster. Frank, you know that.
Take all the great OC16 action with you on the go with the Spectrum News app. All the latest local sports, news, and weather that matter most to you. Download it now. It's on the App Store or Google Play. BYU Hawaii's campus, about 6 decades old, and just continuing to become such a great academic institution and a gorgeous day on campus. St. Louis hitting 400 right now. University Laboratory hitting under 100. Right at the net. Oh, how about Sepulona diving after that one? Off the cable and down from TJ Setic.
We talked about the rotation defense. One of the strengths of the rotation defense is you have the tips covered, right? You have a guy like Pupu who's got great ability to hit the floor. That's his only thing he's worried about. He's spying on that tip.
Lee slaps it across. Chased down there by Kaneopua. Akasato ripping one right there to Arakawa. Diving after that one. Lee couldn't get that one over.
And now for University, it's who can tap into the emotion on their side, right? When you got nerves, you want to breathe, but you also got to get pumped. You got to go into your heart instead of your brain. Who can be that person who can bring the spark?
Ambrosic, Arakawa. Baguraga, Namahala, how about that? Going downwards, hit it with the left hand instead, and this one sails well long by Setic.
I was talking to Reed Shigemasa about Wendo Namahala Sr. Said he was quiet, he was humble, hardworking, great basketball player who also was really good at volleyball as well. Also played middle blocker.
And Wendo didn't get a ton of time last year, but maximizing his efforts here in 2023. Setic out. And you weren't kidding about that trampoline, man.
Right? So I was talking to Brandon Nakana, who is the facilities guy here. There's 6 feet of open space under this floor.
Right.
It's braced by a bunch of 2x4s, but you can have someone walking under, maybe not me, but you could walk underneath the entire floor.
Yeah. And during the basketball days of BYU Hawaii, there weren't a ton of dead spots either. And currently they use this facilities for graduation or academic seminars. This one popped over right to LeBoy. Who's going to get it? LeBoy behind the 3-meter line goes to Lee. Bagurigan feeds it outside. Setic winding up, whacking that Nakasato. And then Lee gets denied at the net. Bagurigan feeds Pupu. Got that down. They wanted an illegal attack. They didn't get it. Jonah Reyes trying to lobby for that.
I'm telling you, you watch St. Louis, they just have so much angle, so many options, right? They got 4 or 5 guys who can take swings and have here tonight.
Sepulona hitting .750, 3 for 4, no errors. There you go, Nakasato.
On the other side for University, this is not a middle-heavy offense, so they really focus a lot on the pin hitters.
Half a dozen yesterday for Nakasato. Sepulona gets a running start. Nakasato digs it up. Kitan right to LeBoy. Got it.
Keep your eye on Kenna Kitan. He's the other freshman here, right? He's the 5'8" freshman. That set out of the libero position was about as pretty as a set I've seen all year long.
Son of athletic director Walt Kitan able to pound that one through. So for Jonah Reyes' crew and University Laboratory, there are 4 basketball guys, as you mentioned. They won an intermediate basketball championship together, but also they won an intermediate volleyball championship together. So this is a special class that's going to grow up together with the likes of Ambrosic and Kitan and McKinney and LeBoy. It really could shape the very future of University Laboratory, or as everyone at University Laboratories told me, little old University Laboratory. Nobody expects us to be here, and here they are, the #1 seed.
I don't know about that, man. All the connections to great athletes at the University of Hawaii. I mean, it's not the size of the dog; it's the size of the fight in the dog, right?
Right. Man, but here they are against this crew. Wants to redeem themselves after coming up short, but Keenan Paulos is saying, hey, not a lot of people have been expecting us to be in this position, so they feel the pressure could be more on the #1 seed at this point, and understandably so, but St. Louis has become such a force to be reckoned with. And this last week has been so special for Keenan Palos, his family, and this entire St. Louis program.
You know, that's a great point by you, right? Who the pressure is on, right? If at the end of tonight, St. Louis doesn't win, people are going to say, like, hey, they played a great season. On the other side, if University doesn't win, hey, you guys won the first 2 in the match. You guys should win the 3rd, right? Like, in that perspective, there's a lot of pressure on Cole LeBoy and the entire team here.
I just can't get over the fact that St. Louis is in Division II. Right? There are very few sports where they participate in Division II. Sometimes they pop up and down a division. Soccer's one of them. Gotta calibrate my eyes.
Setter in the front row, Trip Lee a good option, and out of the back row, Pupu.
Nakasato goes to Carson Lee. Paguragan in the middle for Lee.
Just such a workhorse, right? He's up on time, quick arm, quick jump. Here's the thing about middle, because I played middle. You have to do this 100 times in a match, and then maybe you'll get set 5 times. So you don't get to turn it on and off. Like the fullback in St. Louis football.
Blocking for the running back.
They're never going to give you the ball, right? Especially now that the quarterbacks can run themselves, right?
On 3rd and short, maybe. As LeBoy, built like a football guy, pounds this one down. 6 for him.
Oh, man, this first set is so huge, right? It's so huge.
6 ties, 2 lead changes. Bloss puts it back in play. Setic tips it. Front row there for Nakasato. LeBoy. Oh, wow, what a job from Paguragan. Had the hands up, then pulled it down and avoided the touch.
Right, sometimes the best play we make is the play we don't make. Really good job of the matrix. He looks like Keanu Reeves back there, right? Just bending out of the way of the hit.
Setic. LeBoy calling for it. Hit the antenna. Shook the pin. And St. Louis has got set point. Timeout or not? Timeout, says Jonah Reyes.
Right, and here's the great thing about volleyball is you can lose 2 sets and you can still win a match, right? So, yeah, but if you look at the body language of University right now, it's almost like that you can see the pressure, you can see uptightness, right? And so at some point, someone in that huddle's got to say, like, hey, let's just try our hardest. Let's try to get in the moment. Let's have a little fun here.
Yeah, I mean, they've pretty much ran the table in the ILH, as we mentioned. Dropped 6 sets, on the verge possibly of losing set number 7 this season. But when you have moments where you're uncomfortable is really when you're tested. Much like a Moanalua team during the OIA, they won every single set, then lost the first one against Punahou yesterday in the semifinals. Bounced back to win set 2 and 3. How you react to that adversity is really going to test your mettle here, and that's what University Laboratory could potentially face here.
You're absolutely right. And then you look at St. Louis on the bench. Guys are smiling.
Yes.
Flying. Shakas are flying over there. You got Ole, the coach, showing Pupu how to block a little bit better. Things are flowing.
Of course, if that last name sounds familiar, by the way, his father is James Ole, who we get to see a lot during the volleyball season as a great official, too.
Got some cupping in there, right? The volleyball players, you can tell what arm they are because that's where all the cup marks are, right?
The pepperonis up there.
The pepperoni marks, I like that.
So how did you rehab and recuperate after a long match or a struggling one?
How did I do? Ice cream?
Little Haagen-Dazs?
Yeah. Mine was more mental, less physical.
I see. 24-22, St. Louis dropping a set against IAEA in set number 2. So University Laboratory talks about having slow starts at the beginning of matches. St. Louis, I mean, it kind of fluctuates. Started off real hot against IAEA, then dropped set 2. They're looking to find that consistency, but right now the priority, able to take a 1-0 lead in the match. Floating ball, tough one there. Kaniakua one-handed set. LeBoy, there's Carson Lee. A chance to win the frame with Carson Lee. Popped up there and chased by Ambrosic. Nakasato, what a job. Sepulona, he ends set 1. Pupu is awesome. And the Junior Bows got Pupu and the main course. Off we go to set 2.
This Spectrum OC16 sports presentation is sponsored by Zippies.
Well, St. Louis getting a lot of production, especially coming off the bench, and Pupu Sepulona, who has been starting and then off the bench this year. He has just been so special this sophomore year.
Yeah, there's certain people in life where the brighter the light shines, the better they show up. And Pupu is a winner through and through, and he's got so much win in him, it's contagious for the rest of the team. Take a look at the stats, right? Doubling up the hitting percentage for St. Louis. Off the charts. Only 5 errors, and I think the big difference there is the terminality. Taking some really big swings. They're also doing it with the blocks. On the other side for University, some unforced errors, hitting long a few times. They're serving well. They're putting some pressure. They're playing good defense. But at the end of the day, it's all about offense in this game.
Those are your Jack-in-the-Box first set stats. The All-Hawaii Division I Player of the Year for basketball, Pupu Sepulona, already has an offer to play football at the University of Hawaii. So that's 3 sports, all of them excelling, thriving. Man, do they love him over at Kalaipahoaku.
The generation of the specialists, right? And you got a throwback guy who I guarantee you he could be doing track and field as well. I guarantee you he could be good at a lot of different sports. This is a guy who he looks like an athlete, he walks like an athlete, and he athletes like an athlete.
You see Trey Ambrosic was excellent during the basketball season, as we mentioned, going to the state final. In fact, Coach Ryan Tong saying, we don't get a lot of guys that look like him coming through the university program, so we call him the unicorn. He has been a magical type of player during the basketball year, but right now, the Junior Bows down in the match, 0-1. Off we go in set number 2. Kaniakua sets it outside, and that one's off the block and out. As Nakasato got off the touch of Sepulona and Lee.
You look at Sepulona, it's kind of got this throwback to the Allen brothers, right? Allen, Masui Allen. These are guys who are maybe a little thicker, a little bit more physical looking.
Arakawa's hands and good for the point.
And yet they can still jump and get off the ground.
Sepulona's taking jumps in between sets, and man, that floor shook. The floor shook. Setic, Paguragan, Sepulona, two-handed push, Ambrosic. Kaniakua in the middle. McKinney stabbed up there by Paguragan. A bump set from Sepulona. Lee two-handed over. Kitan, Kaniakua, McKinney.
I think that's one of the keys, right? University's got to get a little bit more creative in their offense, a little bit more diversification. They've been so pin-heavy, and all of a sudden you get one-on-one opportunities.
A 3-0 start here for the Junior Bows. Sepulona stashes that one in front of McKinney and Kaniakua.
The hardest thing to do is be a lefty and hit on the left side just because of the physics, the timing of it. And Sepulona making that look very, very easy.
Hitting 5 for 7, no errors as well now. Here for Sepulona. LaBoy blocked by Sepulona.
We always talk about rebounding in basketball being very similar to blocking in volleyball.
Woo. It's 2 big blocks there for the Crusaders so far. Kita on the pass, right to Kaniakua and Ambrosic. A floating tip. Lee just somehow saved it. Tomahawked up by Paguragan. Hit over by Setic. Off Ambrosic. Junior Bows scored the first 3. Crusaders answer back with the next 3. Lee. And some of these players have been sliding on the floor as well. Especially during that first set. Lee able to just save that one. LaBoy off the block of Sepulona. Setic corrals it. Paguragan to Lee. Through that block. There's Kitan. Overpass! Oh, Pupu!
When you're that big, that strong, you're not supposed to be able to jump this high and hit this hard. You know who else? Sio Saipaia. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Really?
That guy was same body type, same jump.
From the back row, Nakasato.
When I was a kid, it was the brothers. It was Sio and Ia Saipaia. Basketball, volleyball, those are the guys everyone looked up to.
He is all over the state tournament record book for basketball. Some of the best performances that you're going to find in the history of the state tournament.
Didn't he score like 50 points one time or something crazy like that?
Yeah. Outside it goes, it's Lee. Talk about matrix, he's on Nakasato. Got a limbo underneath that one.
Lee was so good in the first set. 5 kills to lead all players on St. Louis, hitting 300. Can he keep that same high level, right? He's a guy who's got to jump really high.
Blas puts it right to Setic. Oh, how about that from Sepulveda?
What was that?
Stepping and sliding out. Here is Nakasato. Setic timing to save it. Paguragan to Lee. And Brozic there. Overpassers trip Lee. Sepulveda. At lefty from the right side. So dangerous here for the Crusaders.
I'll tell you, this dig, moving into the line, they put so much pressure on that deep digger and then keeping it high. So, Pupu, he just hits high hands over and over again and he just outpowers the block.
Madison Shea Park puts it back in play. LaBoy winding up. That one turned right back in. Nakasato was there. And Brozic a runner. Back row for Septic. Chased down there by Paguragan. And there is Sepulveda. Lee nearly tapped it down. Hit over there by Jerome. In the middle, that one swatted by Namohala. Chased down there. Wow, how about a bump from Kaniakua. And a free chance for the Crusaders. In a 5-5 set 2 score. Lee picked up there by Kitan. Chased down by LaBoy. Nakasato says, I got it. Another free chance. Ooh, off of Setic. Wasn't the best contact. Then Shea Park and Sepulveda in the front row right there to Kaniakua. Here's LaBoy. Net called on St. Louis. It's a point for the Junior Bows.
You know, you can tell the level of a volleyball match by how controlled the defensive play is on both sides and how many times the ball goes across the net, right? That rally, back and forth, maybe 12 times across the net. This is a high-level game.
Setic, Paguragan, Namohala. He just defies gravity at times. Hanging up in the air and swatting that one on the descent.
You know, in Pearl City, his father played for the Pearl City teams, 85 and 86 championships under Doug He. Had some good history back then in Pearl City volleyball.
Of course, Doug He, also an excellent coach at his time over at Moanalua. The most recent coach before Alan Kabanting took over.
Right.
Here's LaBoy. Wow.
Good serve.
Mishandled.
That's a set where if you set it a little bit lower and it doesn't have as much time for the ref to see it, but when you set it as high as he did, you can just see, you count spins. 1, 2, 3. They're not supposed to count the spins, but it's hard not to.
Yeah. LaBoy able to get that one to Carson Lee. Here's Namohala, the deep push.
Wow.
LaBoy laying out to keep the rally going. It goes to Lee. Oh man, what a dig there down the line by Kaniakua. Paguragan middle, Namohala. Oh, he did it again, Kaniakua!
Oh.
And Brozic saved it, underhanded over, and we play on. Setic, Paguragan, Carson Lee. Wow.
There were about 7 wows on that play. That was one of them. Love the defense on both sides. And then at the end of the play, Carson Lee just feeling it here today.
Into the net.
You know, I remember back when I was young, you have like a nitrous button you can press, right? Where you tap into like extra strength and extra jump. You don't get to keep tapping into that all match long though.
Yeah. By the way, you're still young. I don't know what you're talking about there. Cephalona down the line. There's Kitan. Kaniakua. Nakasato hit the cable, did not hit the antenna, got it across. Setic. Wow.
Bringing some junior power. Started a little bit slow in that first set. His passing and defense, though, have been good throughout the night.
Arakawa. Kitan. Kaniakua. Ambrozic. Toguragan. Arakawa. Toguragan. Kitan. Kaniakua. Nakasato. Arakawa. Joust. Fight. Lee. Point. Net. St. Louis.
You know, you made a comment about age and wanted to wish you a belated happy birthday. And age is one of those things that's relative, right? It depends on who you hang out with, where you can be either young or old. I saw a lot of old comments on your page. You got to hang out with older people so you feel better about yourself, man.
I'll get right on that. Nakasato goes to Ambrozic. Lee got it there. No lift by McKinney. Instead, it is Kaniakua. His first kill today.
Love the scramble. More known for his setting prowess, showing you he's got some offensive chops as well.
Lee off the double block, somehow saved there by Nakasato. And mishandled there by Kitan.
And I'll tell you, a lot of referees might not be calling that. Randy Rubinall up top is one of the best in the state, and he's a guy who referees collegiate games and even higher, national team games. So his standard isn't going to dip too far low, and I think the level of play, it's okay that's where the bar is very, very high.
Amen. This one sails long. 12-point advantage, or 12-9 advantage, I should say, here for the junior Bows. That's 7 service errors now here for St. Louis. Nakasato. Arakawa. Toguragan. Setic. Off of Lavoie. Setic is a Red Bull in human form.
They all are, the entire team. And you know where they get it from? Their coach, Keenan the Rock Paulos.
4 kills, 5 digs for Setic. Kitan's pass tight at the net.
Look at that set, Felipe.
That one was just out, but yeah, you're right. Kaniakua.
That was like a Jakob Tella one-handed distribution. Take a look at this. We didn't even try this back in the day. One hand just kind of shot, puts it out to the pin.
The boy, can he atone? Yes, he can, off Arakawa. 8 here for him. And University Laboratory is first to 13. With St. Louis leads in the match, 1-0.
This Spectrum OC16 sports presentation is sponsored by Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
We got our car from Honda Windward. They've been so amazing over the years that we live all the way in Mililani. We've gotten on the H3 and we're right there.
Get the new 2023 Honda Ridgeline for only $214 a month, or the new 2023 Honda Passport for only $199 a month.
Mike
Wax Engraving and Trophies, the official provider for Spectrum OC16 and Spectrum XCast.
Pretty good crowd. All right, starting to fill out. Both teams are in the building, by the way. Kamehameha and Punahou. That's game number 2 of our championship doubleheader.
Who you got?
I would, but we ran out of time. I'm so sorry, Kev. So sorry.
Oh, man, this is an exciting year.
I tell you what, we're going 4, at least. We're going 4.
And they played a lot of 5-setters this year.
Of the previous 6 matches, 5 of them have gone to 5 sets. Kamehameha and Punahou. That's game number 2 of our doubleheader.
I got to pace myself. I've been starting off all excited. I'm going to drink a little chamomile tea and settle in here.
No, but you're hanging out with young people, so you're young.
Get off my lawn, Felipe.
Blas puts it in play and it gets an ace. That's now 5 aces for University Laboratory, 2 for Blas, no aces for St. Louis tonight, and 7 service errors for the Crusaders.
He's doing some good things. Had a really nice dig earlier as well, did Blas.
St. Louis hitting 254, University Laboratory hitting 143 so far. Lee tipped it around in Brozic there. Kaniakua popping up for LaBoy.
Love the defense from the big guy. Getting down low is Ambrozic. That's dear to my heart, right? It's like a tall tree. It's just a little bit harder to get down low.
And 5 digs there for Ambrozic. Setic, a little miscommunication. Who's going to receive it with Arakawa? And Keenan Paulus wants to take another timeout. Bro, Benoa Wade. Cleany, UCLA commit. Putting up 37 combined in the last round. Game number 2 of our doubleheader here in OC 16. Lee. Yes.
Hasn't made a mistake yet. Pretty terminal. Just in the right place at the right time. And as a setter, it's just so good to have someone dependable like that. You know they're going to be up and always an option.
Lee hitting 500 right now. No errors, 3 for 6. Kaniakua to the middle, pounded by Jerome, diving Cepolona, but he just tumbled and barrel rolled over the center line. And he knew it.
He actually was good, and then he almost went into like a little backspin. Like my breakdancing days back in the day.
I saw the floor shake, by the way.
Yeah, I just bring out a cardboard box, and I'll show you a few things.
Okay. Can't wait for post game. This one hit over by LaBoy. Lee, Paguragan, Namohala. Oh! Don't go in there! Jerome!
Holy smokes. Sometimes that's a block that looks like a block, but it ends up on the other side. But Jerome just pushes over. There's no room there. Woo. First block of the night for University. That's a big deal.
Namohala tries to get it back, but then that block up front. I tell you what, all season long, St. Louis has really effectively utilized their middle with Trip Lee and Wendell Namohala. But this presence alone, that front line, neutralizing all that.
And they moved Ambrozic over to the left side. Kind of interesting. We're seeing some tweaks right now. So you're seeing before LaBoy was on the left and Brozic on the right. They flip-flop for a little different matchup. 2 stats that were really interesting, right? That's the first block for University. St. Louis still looking for their first ace of the night. They've had 7 errors.
As these programs have racked up wins and became more successful over the course of the season, more fans, as you would imagine, came out to support. For University Laboratory, the big question was going to be, were their student section going to make an appearance? They did against Radford. They're known as a student section. I've been calling them the junior bozos, if you will. Now, they're not on that quite the level of the original bozos back in the old club gym, but they have been supporting this team and the girls volleyball team and the boys basketball team all throughout this entire academic year. And so Credit to them.
And I don't know if there's an athletic director who does more with his resources than Walt Kitan, right? Like, that's a guy, I feel like you could say, like, hey, here's a couple coconuts and a fishing net, and he can make like a volleyball clinic happen out in a park somewhere.
He's the MacGyver of ADs, is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Of course, he knows about winning state championships, won a 2016 Division II championship.
I don't know if I'm going to break the news, but it sounds like he might come back and coach the girls' side next year as well.
University Laboratory. Not the biggest of campuses, by the way. It's about a couple blocks away from the University of Hawaii's main campus.
But amazing school, right? An amazing school. It's got a great, stellar reputation.
Kenan Paulos, who takes so much pride as the head coach of this program.
Is he wearing like a Fitbit? It's like a Fitbit, right? Or something like that. It just kept counting his steps on the sideline.
I thought it was a Rode microphone.
It could be. Maybe
there's both.
Maybe they're filming him. Something wearable, right? It's wearable technology.
Yeah. Lee, free chance now, front row, and Brozic. LeBoy. Oh.
All right, we've seen a lot of LeBoy on the left side. Now we're seeing him on the right side, 10th kill. And what I love about it, it's not like he's got to go hit his hardest hit every single time, just slapping it to the back line.
Into the net.
And on the other side for St. Louis, so much energy in the first set. The question was, is it sustainable? And a little bit of a lull here. So even if they don't win this second set, you'd like them to get a little bit more momentum here. It's not too late, though.
Junior Bell's in the red zone right now. Here's Sepulona. Maniaku in the middle. Jerome got it across. Sepulona. Then Paguragan went over the net. And there is LeBoy. LeBoy again off the joust. Saving that one, Septic. Near the tower. Oh, Lee reversed it and somehow got it across. One-handed set for Ambrozic. What was that?
What was that?
Flying around.
Another one-handed set. We had a little jump bump on that play. The jump bump is very rarely brought out.
Setic near the net.
Watch out,
look out for us as Sepulona nearly collided with Paguragan. And in the back row, LeBoy rattled the ribbon, diving there, Setic. Here's Lee. Down the line, got it.
I saw my life flash before me. It felt like the running of the Bulls of Pamplona right there. And then Carson Lee detonated down the line.
Why would anybody want to run a Bulls? Here's Ambrozic. This one goes out. I mean, I get it. Tradition, right? Adrenaline rush. But
yeah. If you want to do that, we'll just send Poo-Poo after you.
Yeah. That guy.
You showed no fear there, though.
No.
You're around football. It happens all the time.
It's happened before.
You're a referee now.
LeBoy, and then Kariokua. Sato. Not the Sato, man. Just found real estate and set up shop.
Right in the middle of that play, Jeremy kind of came up a little bit slow. Just side Jerome.
6 kills now for Nakasato. Set it.
Oh,
is blocked.
Remember that play, Felipe. Remember that play, because nothing gets you going like a big block on the outside and then all your teammates pushing you around. That was sick.
Wow.
That was like nucleus. Going nuclear.
2-2 on the blocks. Arakawa. Namohala. Steadied here by Kitan on the bump set. Nakasato. Oh, how about the job there from Paguragan, and then Ambrozic saves it to keep the rally going. Setic off the block. Arakawa back to TJ. Diving after that one, Kariakua. Back bump, a little off though. Nakasato gets it across though, off of lead. Then Arakawa bump. Set tick, way off the net, puts it back in play. And Brozic off the block. Met there from Nakasato. Back row, LaBoy. Got it.
LaBoy being La Man here in the second set. His 11th kill, really setting a tone of confidence. So smooth.
Set point number 1 here for the junior bows, and that one goes long. Got to fight off 8 more of these now. Here is Blaze Arakawa. And Brozic. Back row there for Lee. Cepolona winding up. It went into the touch as it's ruled. Setic off the block and out.
Randy Rubino is a smart man, right? Like we talked about Pupu. He's intimidating. You're not going to want to cut any of the ones. You're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Timeout, University Laboratory.
Right, and for a lot of people, a timeout at 17:24 might seem a little bit excessive, but when you've seen as much volleyball as Reyes has, crazy things happen, right? And you want to really play the momentum game, and if you see things starting to slip, you got to make that early timeout. I don't mind it at all.
And for Coach Reyes, he says, his phone's been blowing up over the last week or so. Of course, we mentioned about his father, who has been a big part of his life and this program, but among the text messages that he's got, one came from his brother, who also has a pretty good volleyball pedigree as well.
Yeah, national championship winning Nebraska. He's pacing the sidelines. If you've ever seen a Final Four match, he's got the biggest clipboard you've ever seen in your life. and he's calling blocking signals, and he's talking a bunch.
Of course, his father, Tino Reyes, right there. We have the coach over at UH Hilo. Of course, they used to make their rounds here to BYU Hawaii.
Those were the days, right? Reyes and Wilton.
Of course, the women's volleyball program achieving much success here at BYU Hawaii. In 2017 was the last year of Seasider Athletics, right, before the school opted to kind of focus more on academics and funnel the resources into that department. It's a beautiful, sprawling campus, too, right next to the beach. Big selling point for international students and local students, too. 24-17. Arakawa got to put it in play. Chance to win the set. Nakasato met there from Lee. Setic. Oh, great dig there from Kitan. LaBoy arcs it over right to Lee. Bergeragan, middle for Tripley, who goes out, and the match is tied at 1. They win it 25-17. This best of 5 now essentially becomes a best of 3 from here on out for the Division II state championship.
This Spectrum OC16 sports presentation is sponsored by New City Nissan.
Hey, I'm officially a Zipster now. I signed up for Zipster Rewards, and now I get to feed on free Zippies.
And so University Laboratory takes set 2, 25-17, but that offense fueled by outstanding defense here, Kev.
Yeah, hitting the floor, scraping for those extra opportunities and flying out of nowhere like a 6'6" condor as Brozic. Those stats flip-flopped, right? In the first set, it was all about the St. Louis offense. Here in the second, it was University Lab turning it on. They also did it from behind the service line as well, leading the digs category. I don't know, like it looked like a totally different matchup in that second set, and a lot of it was St. Louis, not as much emotion. University really picking up on some of that momentum.
Those are your Jack in the Box set 2 stats. tomorrow will officially end season 34 of high school sports in OC16. It's the New City Nissan Goodwill Softball Classic, 17 years of existence. I cannot believe that. Some of the best softball talents from around the island and around the state ready to compete at Rainbow Aimee Softball Stadium. Third place game we'll have for you on Mother's Day, by the way, 3 o'clock. And then the championship game at 5.
It's almost as if St. Louis fans understood that emotion thing, right? Like, that was the loudest cheer they gave so far of the night, and it was just before this third set starts up.
All right, so we've settled in now for 2 sets in this brand new venue. What do you think about the place now?
Oh, I love it. I'm getting fired up. And the drive is so beautiful. I think the next time we might be making this drive, maybe not you, but I'm a big Iam Tongi fan, right? Like,
yeah.
Is there's going to be a thing out here, right? If he gets to the next round or something crazy.
Yeah, they were throwing parades and they were throwing parties out there too, and there are actually vote for Togi signs.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's running for office, like the people that are putting up these signs in these yards.
I'm telling you, it's the first time I've ever voted for anything like that before in my life, and I just went vote like 19325, 19322, like whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same. I think not since Jasmine Trias, season 3 of American Idol.
He's one of a kind. I'm telling you, like, I'm like getting teary-eyed, and I'm like, it takes a lot. I'm a tough guy, Felipe.
You're an old guy, and you're a young guy, and you're a tough guy, and you're a shapeshifter.
Oh man, he's got some magic.
He is, and he just took everyone's hearts with his talent. Here's the pivotal set number 3. Here comes Sepulona. Got it. So it's active in the first set, active in the early portions of set 2. Now trying to get real active here in set 3.
You know, we talk about maybe he's not the most seasoned volleyball player, but you know, just in terms of being a competitor.
Near the net, it is McKinney. McKinney, so special during his basketball time. And he just continues to work. No ego, just incredible athletic ability for his age, too.
And he's brought some good offense here later in this match. A couple of kills. 3 kills now. Hasn't made him an error.
Into the net.
Well, Coach Reyes trying to get the Milan Zarkovic clapping going. Like, that is the coolest thing for me ever. And I feel like that's come to the high school level in Hawaii. Yeah. See it at the club level.
While we were in commercial break, University Laboratory, during the between set break, all went to the locker room real quick as this one goes into the stands, and good chase down there from Rex Pagurgan.
Yeah, they were gone. We couldn't see them, right?
Yeah. And they were honoring the seniors too at the time, which is what Chaz Ontai typically does on a senior setting. But it got so loud in here that they just needed some quiet time. 2-2, set 3. Arakawa, Pagurgan, Lee tipped it around a block. There's LeBoy and Brozic. So these basketball guys really want to win a state championship after coming up short against Kohala. They feel like that this is the year that they can put a ring on it, if you will. And right now, Brozic helped leading the way as well.
And after that one dig and that one block, you can see he's a different person offensively. If I'm St. Louis, I'm a little bit worried about that.
Pagurgan to Carson Lee, who just continues to shine in this one. He's got 8.
There's some like videos of where there's these kung fu guys that jump and they break like 7 wood boards on the way. Like, I get that picture when I see Carson Lee jump on the outside. Like, he's got hang time for days.
Got Taekwondo performances. Kaniakuda and Brozic. And Celtic ducks underneath that one.
You know who else runs this rotation defense? Is Pano. They take away all of your tip opportunities, right? So they really put a lot of pressure on your hitting.
Back to LeBoy. Look at everyone ducking underneath, and Brozier swings, LeBoy swings.
Tonight has really been a seesaw battle, right? It's been one team playing at a high level and then the next, and it's going to be who can kind of even things out and find that balance.
LaBoy off the block of Lee, chased down there by Paguragan. And Sepulona took some off of it for a pickup from Kaniakua. LaBoy a runner. Ooh, look out, Sepulona there. Then the second contact, and then the third to go to Lee. There's Kitan, Kaniakua, Koa LaBoy. Sepulona, Paguragan to Lee. Wow, hard angle, but just couldn't bend it in. It's out.
When I saw that set, I said, there's no chance. He has no chance. He almost had a chance, right? Take a look at how hard this angle has to be. The thinnest of margins. Almost found the court there.
Lee, good pass right back to Paguragan. Fling it out to Sepulona. Through the block, there's LaBoy. Kaniakua. Nakasato jammed it through the block. Namohala helping there. Here's Lee winding up and whacking. Down the line, picked up by Kaniakua. LaBoy's going to feed it. A tough one, though. Over to Jerome in the front row. Now the attack, it's Namohala. Off the block, Titan can't corral it. Namohala trying to get things started. He's got 3 kills.
Just such the textbook middle blocker. So twitchy. You think about him, he's twitchy off the ground, twitchy with the arm swing as well. Older sister Nicole was a right-sider. She was a lefty just like Pupu.
LaBoy. Kaniakua had to chase it for a swinging Nakasato. Arakawa. Paguragan. Out there from Sepulona.
So University, the adjustment against this rotation defense is you got to hit deep middle. The hard part about getting around that, everyone since you are 8 years old says don't hit me at the middle of the court. Hit the angle, hit the line, keep it outside of the middle of the court. But this defense, that's what it gives up.
Sepulona flying and nearly jamming in front of McKinney, and it worked. Took him out of system. 9 kills and just 1 error today here for Sepulona.
This is a really important set, right? Neither team playing at their best. So pivotal.
7-5. Lasered right over the net. Oh, man. Like a jack-in-a-box springing up. Nakasato.
Just has the best vision. Passing platform. Just everything looks like it's supposed to. And now that they got the middle going, you get those one-on-one opportunities on the outside.
Lee, overpass. Like Kaniakua, I think, got that one.
This play is one of the least glamorous plays in the sport of volleyball, but one of the most important. I always tell my players, it's so much less risky than trying to go up and swing. How many times do you see people go into the swing and they end up in the net on that play?
Mistimed it. Saved by Setzik, though. Dumped by Nakasato. Nakasato, splendid.
You know, and when I think about Mike, I think about a guy who's confident, but he's not necessarily the loudest player. He's really stepped into a role as a leader here almost before our very eyes.
Nakasato's going to set it now. LaBoy back row. Took something off of it. Stabbed up there by Namohala. Setzik. LaBoy. Watch out. Chased down there by Nakasato. Kaniakua puts it across. Setzik. Net called University Laboratory. It's on Nakasato. Wow. Grade 8. LaBoy. McKinney into the block, and it's TJ.
And these are the rotations where their 2 big hitters are in the back row. You got 2 real options here. And you can see because of that, the block party, they know where that ball's going.
Nakasato out. Wanted a touch, didn't get it. 2-point advantage.
And remember, this is one where you go up with a big approach, maybe throw in a tip, but the tip's not available against this team.
Arakawa sidewinds a serve over. Nakasato. Setic overpass. Hit over there by Kaniakua, chased down by Lee. Here is Setic again off the double block. There's Trip Lee. TJ again. Oh, TJ to the max.
So cool. He made the full flex celebration at the same time that Keenan Palos made this full flex celebration.
7 for him. McKinney got it.
So smart. You got the 2 blockers in front of you, and that means that the area 4 tip wide open. Now the next level is the libero. If you can see that happen before it happens, so you can get some easy digs.
Outside there's Setic. There is LaBoy going off the block.
I don't know if anyone carries a bigger burden for their team than LaBoy, right? Because he also gets served a lot. He's been passing really well. You know, service rotation is really interesting. It's almost like Red Rover, is that you can have 2, you can be a great passer, but if you have 2 better passers right next to you, you're going to get the serves.
What's Red Rover? In the middle, here's Lee. Off the block. Kaniakua. And then there's Carson Lee. Setic swinging and scoring.
Red Rover, send Felipe right over. You never heard of that before? Come on, man.
Is that the one where you line up and you're trying to run through the chain?
It's a little barbaric, yeah.
And then it's a little barbaric.
And then someone runs as fast as they can to try to break through. You would never say send poo-poo right over.
Oh, no.
Now let's just say that.
Arakawa back on University Laboratory's side. There's LaBoy. 14 for now.
And look at him spread that confidence, right? He's giving high fives. He's saying nice set. He's keeping that energy going. You need one person at the point, right? Point of the spear. Tight.
Yup, Cepolona hit the antenna and then went over the line as well. That's another dangerous play.
I'm telling you, and I think the flooring and how springy and jumpy it is, it almost exaggerates it.
Yeah.
Because in all our matches, we've done probably hundreds of volleyball matches. We've never seen someone land 2 feet under the net before, right?
And Jonah Reyes is making a case to the officials saying, hey, someone's going to get hurt if this continues. And so there was a discussion here between the 2 officials right now, Monty Geis and Randy Rubinall.
Yeah, I don't know what a discussion would be about.
The point was for University Laboratory anyway because the ball hit the antenna. And he went over the line, so that was all Junior Bo's point regardless. And out of all of it, it's Blas. Lee, Pagurga, Cepolona. Got it off the touch as it was ruled. And so, St. Louis to the first 25 points, as close as it can get. And the Crusaders are first to 13. The home of the New City Nissan Boys Volleyball State Championships. There's our compound in the truck. Everyone out there. Led by Kelly Nakasone, our director, David, our producer. And one of those cars is a Tesla. Hey, back here inside the cannon.
That one on the right that always says like Felipe with the gold star next to it, is that available for other people or is that your entire trailer?
Ironically, it's a different Felipe.
Is that on your rider? Are you one of those guys who's like, only green M&Ms, only gummy worms?
Absolutely not. I don't even know what Red Rover is. You think I have a rider? 13 to 12. Here's LeBoy. Oh, he's through. Sepulona and Lee combining.
That's a big block. Right, the blocks there you can see right behind, waiting for the tips. There's just nowhere to hide on that play. There's no out, there's no outlet.
LeBoy, oh, fireball. 15 for Koa LeBoy.
Said, what did your mom say about volleyball? Swing high, and in the biggest moments, swing hard.
Raniakua, Setic, Paguragan, and there's Lee.
And that's, it's just the difference is there's just a few more options on the St. Louis side, so the blocks are always a little bit less formed. Take a look at this. One-on-one, seams all the time. Like, who do you key on? You got Trip Lee, you got Pupu, you got Lee on the outside. There's just too many weapons.
LeBoy, this one goes out.
And you can see the university players there's a lot of left side hitters on this team, but they're not as good on the right side. So that's where the lack of balance is happening. Middle is getting there, left side getting there.
LeBoy on the right side, splitting Paguragan and Setic. Senior Bo's able to score that one. (14-16). It's a big third set here in the New City Nissan Division II State Championship. University Laboratory swept the two meetings in the regular season against St. Louis. Pitan flung it out. Ambrosic stays grounded, puts it across. Lee against a big block. Jerome!
You know, the decision making there from Ambrosic didn't have a really good swing, right? So he keeps it in play. In this University Lab School, they had a lot of time to get their first block, but now they're starting to roll. That's scary.
Yes, it is.
Synchronicity, the double swing block to the right side.
Jump set, Sepulona off the block. There's Kaniakua. Kitan goes right down the middle for LeBoy. Arakawa, Paguragan. Lee off the shoulder of Nakasato. Wow.
I'm telling you, this guy's got some kung fu power. Didn't even have a really good approach to that play, right? Kind of hit it across his body. I don't know how he was able to get so much heat on it.
Oh my gosh. It almost was possessed. You can see that he's okay just off the chest of Nakasato. Here he is trying to answer back, and he does. 16 serving, 17 forthcoming. 9 kills now for Nakasato.
Really high-level play, finding the opening in the defense.
Folded one across. Here comes Lee. Jammed it right through the block of McKinney and Ambrosic. 11 for him.
So the challenge, St. Louis need to put a little more pressure from the service line, because when they do, their defense really sets up well.
Well, the service errors have given opportunities for University Laboratory tonight. That's now 8 service errors for St. Louis, and still trying to find their first ace.
Or maybe the only thing they haven't quite done to the A level here tonight.
Setic, oh, Ambrosic, what a dig. And Setic. He's got 9.
What position does he play in the football team?
Defense.
That guy's just got some good instincts, right? Good feet, good explosiveness.
Jumps into the middle, McKinney off the block of Lee. Block comes up for Setic, diving Ambrosic. LeBoy winding up, taking off. Lee able to get that one. Here's Sepulona flying. Ambrosic diving, setting for Nakasato. Right there for Arakawa. Outside it goes. Setic through the block. There's Kitan. Nakasato off the block. LaBoy saved it with the left. Ambrosic a bump set. Nakasato keeps the rally going. Lee, Paguragan. Lee down.
This is like when you go out with your buddy to get some breakfast and you both get pancakes. Someone needed to get eggs.
Same. The short stack there.
Need a little variety. Someone's got to pick up the slop, get some sausage.
Yeah.
Portuguese sausage.
A timeout taken here by University
What an
Laboratory.
amazing match, Felipe.
It's only the appetizer. Saint City Nissan Boys Volleyball State Championships here in OC16.
New cheesesteak from Pizza Hut.
Oh, how about this? I'll put an alumni band in the house. Okay. So making the trip. And they are everywhere. And typically we see them at Hemeter. That's my favorite alumni band in the ILH. 20-17. Outside, there's Nakasato. It was ruled off the net. The double block was up. No touch for context.
All right, this is the marathon, right? And in a little bit of the third set, this is a little bit of who's got a little sprint left here to pull it out.
Arakawa, LaBoy, middle, McKinney tipped it around Setic. Setic feeling it, and he scores!
He's really taken the baton, right? Early on, it was Pupu Sepulona who had all the emotion and energy, and it's been Setic here late in the third set.
And everybody had himself. 5-point advantage, set 3. Biggest lead of the night in any set here for St. Louis. Nakasato got that one down.
This was very subtle on the hit, but he did something that was really interesting. He actually waited a little bit, so he jumped up, let the ball hang a little bit, and then as the block broke up a little bit, hit it down the line.
University Laboratory has 5 aces tonight. Lee handles that well. Sepulona, wow, he just runs with so much aggression. Here comes LaBoy. It's out.
I mean, how much does this third set look a lot like the first set, right?
Timeout, Junior Bose.
I feel like this is the Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors series, right? Like game 1, Anthony Davis plays with a lot of emotion. Game 2, it's all Steph Curry. Like, it's been a little bit of a seesaw battle here tonight.
Ooh. And this is game number 3, if you will, of that series, but this is the final game and the one that matters the most.
Yeah, you're right. First one was a 3 straight sweep from University. The second one actually went 5 sets, 15-12 in the third. So if you talk about who has the momentum within the series, could you ever bet against Keenan Paulos? I mean, he's flexing in nearly every timeout, pacing the floor. He's got the Fitbit / microphone on.
Right.
Just getting a little cardio in.
Well, when they write this story, regardless of what happens, I mean, Keenan Paulos will be very proud of this program and what he's been able to do. Good times for St. Louis fans, by the way, too, in the spring. St. Louis able to win track championships at the state level. Track championships last Saturday over at War Memorial Stadium in Maui. The baseball team getting to the state tournament as the ILH runner-up. The boys volleyball program, putting them on the map. And St. Louis hitting 294 in the third frame, and the University Laboratory hitting 125.
This is the conflicted family, right? There's some in green, some in red. I call that the Christmas family.
It has been a loud night for volleyball. You're in a brand new venue for the New City Nissan State Championship Tournament. St. Louis, in a match that's tied 1 apiece, leads here in set number 3. Nakasato. LaBoy.
That's the down the middle shot, right? It's so weird. You feel like you've been trained all your life. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. That's where the defender is. Well, when you do the rotation defense, that's what's available. It goes between the block. It goes between the defenders.
LaBoy's taken 39 swings out of the 103.
Wow.
He has 17 kills.
Wow.
Blas. BB's one across. Setic denied at the block. Then on the underside of the net, kept alive. Lee puts it back in play. LaBoy off the block. Up is Arakawa. Setic. Yes!
Arakawa made 2 fantastic defensive plays to extend that rally. He covered the first one. Got the deep angle. Keenan Paulus going over there, giving him a little 5, saying, that was all you. Sectic's doing everything. He's breathing, he's getting the calm down, he's praying, he's sending up bat signals, ready to go.
For the set, Setic. LaBoy picked up by Setic. Lee off the cable. Diving after that one is Polendi. LaBoy, roll shot, got it down.
Micah Nakasato from way deep, just rolling it up. And really interesting, they gave Ambrosic a little break in the back row to get him back in the front row. I kind of like that.
Sean Jordan Polendi was in there for one play, had a great diving dig to save it. And now University Laboratory got to fight off 4 of these. Kaniakua, Arakawa, middle, Lee, got it! Man, this set was a trip, man. Everything you could ask for. Long rallies, great defensive gems. But it's Trip Lee to send us in that third set. A big reason why the Crusaders have a 2-1 lead here in the match.
Yeah, he was stomping when he was hitting. He was stomping when he was blocking. He was rubbing his stomach and his head at the same time, doing all kinds of magical tricks here tonight. And St. Louis, the offense, that's the best anyone's hit here tonight, 316. They made only 4 mistakes. They did it defensively as well. No aces in that set. I'll tell you, that might be the stat. University really needs to push the pressure on the service line because St. Louis has got a diverse, highly tuned offense.
St. Louis trying to win a state championship for the first time ever. And they still have no aces through 3 sets of play. They have 3 players in double figures. Carson Lee and TJ Setic each with 11 kills. Pupu Sepalona's got 10 for a team that's hitting 228 for the match.
You know, what's interesting is in the COVID time, we haven't been changing sides, right? That's like one of the hallmarks of every sporting event, right? You got to change sides because it evens out playing surfaces. All night long, the side that University's on has won, right? So we'll see if that trend happens and continues here tonight.
And that was also the side they had to tape down the post plate down to make sure it was flush. But no vortexes, I'm told, on that side. So
this place is very comfortably cool, right?
It is, yeah. And the best thing about this venue, the Connectivity Center, it feels big, but it's also intimate in that sense. You know what I'm saying? It's big, but it's intimate because everyone's packed together. This place can hold around 4,000 fans during the glory days of BYU Hawaii's basketball run on the men's side. Got all the way to the national final.
It's kind of got a feel like the Pyramid at Long Beach, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't it kind of have like that feel?
But better seating.
But more intimate.
Yes.
I'm going to take your word for that. I don't know if I've ever heard that word used for a sport facility, but I'm going to take that word for you.
Just think about it. Anybody can just walk on the floor right now. That's how close people are on the floor right now. So Of course, St. Louis gets to utilize and play their games in a brand new gym right on the lower side of their campus.
Would you call that gym intimate?
I would call it, sure.
All right. Bright lights. Ambrosic, how is he going to respond? Had a little time to rest on the sideline. I like that. I think that might be one where he can come out with a little bit more relaxation, a little bit more focus. On the other side, how do you bet against a winner like Pupu Sepulona, right? Like, this is a guy who wins at everything. A junk in a po battle, I think that Pupu might win.
This is an undefeated run as well here for University Laboratory.
And here's the interesting thing about that is that a lot of times you would say, well, that wasn't, then that's a great thing. Actually, the people who've had to battle a little bit more and have had to flex those muscles about coming back and about facing the feelings of losing, sometimes that's the advantage.
That's a great point. Look at Puno. They have 5 losses this year.
It's a lot of losses.
And they're in the state final.
Maybe the most losses in Rick Toon's career, maybe.
Wow. You see Rick Toon, 16 seasons with that program. He's putting a water that was in one water bottle into a different water bottle.
That's the same water bottle he used for the 11 other champion. No.
Best of luck to Rick Toon and Sava Agpoon, the coach for Kamehameha Kapalama. Warriors are in the house. They're kind of going in and out of the Canada Activity Center.
Is it just me, or do we have a lot longer breaks between sets? Like, I feel like this one has lasted a long time.
Huge. Yeah. Also, both coaches took a little longer to fill out their lineup cards for sets 2 and sets 3, and now here in set number 4.
It's loud in here, too.
Both coaches talk about killer instinct and their teams needing to kind of have it, and St. Louis in the driver's seat right now.
And really interesting, Reyes is starting in his 5-1 lineup here right off the bat. So a lot of pressure going to be on Nakasato here coming out of the break.
Paguragan gets us going in set 4. And he begins with the first ace of the night for St. Louis.
You know, we haven't talked enough about Paguragan. All night long he's been delivering. He's been playing defense. He's really done a good job of delivering the tempo, making good decisions on who's the hot hitter.
Paguragan just out. Paguragan missed the second half of the second meeting against the Junior Bows. In fact, he was cramping pretty bad. That match ended up going to 5 sets, won by the Junior Bows. Since then, he's been all 100%. Given 100% effort, too. Set to Paguragan. Pin to Sepulona.
That swing, right? You see him nodding his head. That ball's got to go such a distance, and then Pupu's got to let it go all the way past his shoulder, turning it down the line. High difficulty level there.
2-1. Ambrosic. That one just sailed out. And a 3-1 St. Louis advantage here in this 4th set.
You can see the coaching staff for St. Louis, they believe, they're feeling it. You got Ole walking, you got Paulus walking. There's a lot of confidence over there. There's that vibe. This is the set, right?
Nakasato hits it out. An ideal start here for the Crusaders.
Polo Boy doing a really good job of keeping the team in there together, slowing things down. I think you got to go out to him right now.
Took Kaniakua off target. Nakasato shovels it back over. Paguragan to Sepulona. Hard angle. And this one goes out.
So it's interesting. St. Louis decided to start in their best rotation. In a lot of ways, University is starting in some of their weaker rotations with the setter up front. If they can get through these early rotations, they're going to have the advantage down the road. It's really choosing your poison. Do you want to get the early lead, or do you want to have a little bit more momentum late in sets?
This trails out. Junior Bo's kind of struggling right now. Bloss sent that one long.
One more rotation here with the setter in the front row.
Here's Madison Shea Park. LaBoy off the block of Sepulona, and he wanted to turn that one in.
You know, he's an athlete where, you know, we were talking about it earlier, like what's his best sport? I feel like whatever sport he's playing and you watch him, you're like, that's his best sport.
Yeah, no, his best sport is his next sport.
You're right, his current sport.
Paguragan in the middle. Namo Hala! Whoa!
We talked about how bouncy this floor is. It's like he's got a trampoline on a bouncy floor. Take a look. Chest over the net. Perfect tempo. And you got Setic in the back row flexing for you. That was a good teammate.
Sepulona into the net. Service error number 9 tonight here for the Crusaders.
I love that. Arakawa running right back over saying, hey, no problem. He comes over and gives him another high five. Arakawa, he's a glue guy, right? He's the guy who's going to keep everyone up, keep everyone focused.
Arakawa, one of 9 juniors on this team. There's 3 seniors for the Crusaders. LaBoy, Setic, chase down Paguragan on a bump. Sepulona just got the back row.
You know what's really interesting about him is that the out-of-system plays, the ones that are like the highest moon balls or like inside and out, he's just got so much range. And a lot of that is from playing other sports. He's used to covering distance.
He's hit the floor hard. He's done everything tonight. And Jerome can't get it across. Still early, but the pressure building. Lee just got it across. Kitan. Here's Ambrosic off the block and out.
You know, that might be his most aggressive swing, right? And sometimes it's not until you got your back against the wall where certain kind of people come out swinging. That's going to be really important for this university team.
Arakawa, Paguragan, Setic. Hit the antenna after he recovered it off the block of Ambrosic. Were you a guy that could kind of like manifest that confidence within you to pump yourself up during games, or did you need the environment to kind of help support and build it up?
I think I was the opposite. I was the guy who was listening to super chill tunes because I would get so excited.
Setic right in front of Ambrosic.
In my yellow Walkman.
Flock of seagulls, huh? This one hit over by Ambrosic. It hit the antenna, and then it was waved off by Randy Rubinall.
It was. It's a bouncy floor, right?
Outside it goes, and Nakasato gets that one down.
That was a really good job by Rubinall, right? Because he said, hey, he's like, hey, I'm here. I can see it's right. You can see it wiggle. You can see the antenna wiggling in front of him right now. It's that bouncy floor.
Ambrosic. Or Lee, rather, and now here comes Setic off the block and got that one down. 13 kills for TJ Setic.
He's rubbing his back right now. That's the first time he's done that all night long. Right, every other one has been a big celebration. That landing, he's put a lot of weight on the left foot and then take the great camera work. Really interested to see his next swing.
3-point lead. Make it 2 now. Nakasato. 8 serving, 10 forthcoming.
Such a hard swing, right? It's just that rotation defense has really been a big storyline here of the success of St. Louis.
Nakasato floats it across. Feed it to Sepulona. Yes. Does it again. He's got 12.
And when I think about Pupu, I think about bookends, right? And we saw what he came out with at the beginning of the match, and you just got a feeling like he's going to bookend it with an amazing close here.
Trying to win a second state title this academic year in a second different sport. Out by Nakasato. 12-8, approaching the halfway point here. And the largest lead in the set for St. Louis. Near the net, Kaniakua, the net shook on whose side? It's on University Laboratory side. It's 13-8, and St. Louis is 12 points away from a state championship. They can feel it, but can they continue it? Timeout.
Sunday, Hawaii returns to the Diamond for a Big West Conference matchup against UC Davis. Rainbow Warrior Baseball, only on Spectrum Sports.
Arguably the coach of the year this season, Sava Agpoon, second year as the head man for Kamehameha Kapalama. They await Rick Toon and the Puno Buff and Blue. It's for the Division I championship coming up after this one. It's a 5-point lead for St. Louis. There's Lee near the net. Paguragan saved it. Lee!
Oh my
absolutely
God.
Crushes one.
It's crazy, right? It's like there's 2 plays a set that he can do something like superhuman. That is superhuman. There's so much torque and turn on that down the line.
Jump set, LeBoy's roofed! Poo-poo!
Get out of his way. It's not fair, right? Because his forearms are like double my forearms. There's just, instead of 2x4s, it's like 2x8s up there.
LeBoy again, Lee, wow, what an attempt, but LeBoy, Nicole LeBoy, Carson Lee, and Rex Paguragan all played together initially over at Kuikahi Club during their earlier days. Now here they are in the Division II state final going up against each other for the 3rd time this year. 20 kills here for LeBoy. Bloss puts it across. Near the tower, this will be a point.
The first sign of a little bit of nerves, right? And so here's the point where all of a sudden you're playing with no nerves, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to win. We can win this. There's nerves there.
Yeah. St. Louis is 10 points away. The countdown's on. Diving after that one, Kaniakua. Picked up there by Bloss. Pupu Sepulona. The net shook, but it was off the contact there, and hit over by LeBoy. Arakawa, Paguragan, tied at the net lead. Try to jam it through the block. Jerome hit it out. 9 away.
Yeah, everyone's jacked up right now. Everyone's not breathing. Everyone's like seeing red. Who can find a little normalcy? Even Paulo. So take a look at him pacing, walking fast.
It's so funny because he was drinking an energy drink over at Bradford, and because we're here at BYU Hawaii's campus, he's like, I can bring a Pepsi, right? So he's got one chugging on the sidelines. That's a point.
There is a little bit of time if you're university. A little bit of time. And you're hoping for this next rotation where Pupu goes to the back row, Setter comes to the front row. These next 3 rotations, they got to go from the 5-point deficit to maybe 2 or 1.
Serving hasn't been the greatest in the last 2 sets here for the junior Bows. Namohala got it off a block.
I don't know if there's a more confident demeanor out there on the court than Namohala right now. And I guess if you jump that high and hit that hard, I guess I'd be confident too.
Cepolona hitting .416, puts that in play. Jerome Namohala. Bringing the mana up north. Wow. They're waiting for him to explode. It's coming alive here in this 4th set.
You can see it, right? St. Louis is come out and taking the aggressive role. And in sports, so many times, it's that first person who comes out and flexes. How do you respond across the net, right? And all night long, this is the moment of truth. This is where University has to step back up. They have to fight back with a little bit more noise, a lot more power, because St. Louis is really pressing the issue here.
There you see Jonah Reyes. Very proud of what his team has done this year, according to him, and facing adversity. A lot of young guys on this team, by the way. 8 players that are either freshmen or sophomores. There are 9 juniors alone here for St. Louis, and St. Louis in this fourth set is hitting .438.
Yeah, that's such a good point, right? There's one senior here who plays quality minutes for this University team, right? That's Jerome, the middle blocker. Team with a ton of upside, a ton of potential. Freshmen and sophomores playing big role situations. I think I also want to give a shout out to HBA, right? Because they did some damage on the D1 level this year. They put a lot of scares into people, big upsets.
Knocked off Punahou, extended matches, you're right, against Kamehameha.
Like, that shocked the ILH world. That's one of Punahou's 5 losses. First time that HBA had ever beaten Punahou.
Biggest lead of the match for St. Louis. 7 points away. Sepulona. Ambrosic. How about Arakawa's stabbing dig? Sepulona into the net. Like a pterodactyl taking off.
Like a 300-pound pterodactyl. Left-handed one. Okay, here's the rotations. 3 rotations. Setters in the front row. If they can get a tough serve, that takes Namahala out, and then it's just a couple of options.
LaBoy.
Here it is, 2 options.
Bump set. Into the net again. Really attacking that right side. Because he's in the back row, he's been taken off from about 13 feet away.
And if I'm blocking on the right side for University, Carson Lee's been hitting a lot of line. I'm not going to give him that line anymore. They got to get this to about 3-2 points.
LaBoy, Setic, near the net, tapped home, Rex Paguragan.
Wow, making lemonade out of lemons. That was a tight pass and a lot of trouble. What a great job he's done here tonight as Paguragan.
46 assists for him. And Lee goes into the net.
Now it's Setic, right? And Setic's been hitting a lot of high hands, been playing with a lot of emotion. First time we've seen him back in the front row since he had that back issue on the landing, right? Big moments here.
Sailing ball goes to Lee. Here's Setic against Ambrosic. Around him and scored it.
This is the new age offense. We didn't used to do this anymore. It's jump up and throw it down. And it's all about you got to get rid of it quick.
Keenan Palos yelling at his team. 1 point at a time. They're 5 away now. Nakasato says we ain't done yet. Now their countdown is on. 10 away from setting it to 5.
Last rotation with Pupu in the back row.
Lee, Paguragan, Setic, Ambrosic, too hot to handle.
I'll tell you, is creatine still a thing?
It is.
Feels like it.
Flexing on him.
Wow, that was a good block.
21-15. Paguragan gets it over. Jump set out. There's Nakasato. Trading points is fine in the early stages of a set. This late, going to be tough.
And you get one of their best servers, but also he looks a little sped up. He's got to really do a good job of slowing things down. You don't want to serve when you're sped up.
Nakasato. Ooh, just got it across. Setic. Ambrosic fought it off. Sliding there, Nakasato. McKinney puts it over. Sepulona! A bomb!
How entertaining is this match? Remember, this team lost to University twice this year. Come in here having to do a lot of work as the underdog.
3 away, make it 2 away. They didn't have any aces through the first 3 sets. They have 2 here in set 4. Timeout, Junior Bows. LaBoy crashing into the bench. Tremendous effort.
You know, you asked me in the pregame, is it hard to beat a team 3 times in a row? And I kind of said, no. Right? Here's the hard part. The hard part is once you've been beaten 2 times by the same team, take a look at the hustle. Take a look.
It hit Ivan, who's working the
rush
handheld
him.
camera. Yeah, look like Chachi. Yeah.
And that's not even poo-poo. Yeah, you know, here's what the challenge is. If you've been beaten 2 times by a team, the challenge is believing that you can beat them back on the 3rd time, right? If you can overcome that hurdle and if you can believe that it's possible, and I think that guy right there, Pupu Sepulona, really set the stage, really set the tone. He's a winner throughout his career in every single sport, and even though this isn't his #1 sport, he comes in with so much confidence, and that really was contagious for the rest of his team here tonight.
And you look at what St. Louis has done in the 2 meetings in the regular season, or ILH play, right? Getting swept early on. Keenan Paulo saying, you know, we're still trying to find ourselves. We played great Division I talent in the preseason. Didn't really have our full system in. Then the second time they play, different story, right? Goes to 5 sets. The middle's established. Everyone understands their roles. The leadership is there. Now you're seeing all of that work come here to this one final match of the season and hoping to cash in on all the hardships they faced. Got a pretty good spring, as we mentioned, for St. Louis. Win the track championships on the boys' side. 2 points away. Setic. Outside, there's LaBoy. Lee. Sepulona. Good pick up there from Ambrosic. They need this one. LaBoy. Double block and double down. Championship point, Crusaders. Setic for the title. Up in the air, chased by Ambrosic. Hope alive. Is this St. Louis's moment? Carson Lee, diving Ambrosic. Front row Sepulona, Poguragon, Lee hits it out.
It's like no one in the gym breathed for about 40 seconds of that rally. Best rotation for St. Louis. They got 3 amazing options.
And Keenan Paulus just said one pass, that's all we need. University Laboratory got to fight off 7 of these. Bloss gets it across Arakawa. Pretty good pass. Sepulona to win it. And this one's out. Oh, wow, down the line.
Right, and you don't want to let this thing creep too long, right? Because all of a sudden you see Paulus slow it down.
Arakawa, Poguragon, Trip Lee goes out. 3 straight, entering the red zone. They say, let's run it back. He's
got 2 timeouts left. Maybe one more play.
Blas gets it across. Arakawa again. Paguragan sliding out. Sepulona, the Brotherhood Division II state champions.
This might be the rowdiest celebration in volleyball history.
On the North Shore at Brigham Young, Pupu Sepulona brings it home. The first ever boys volleyball state championship in Keenan Paulos. All tears and all hops. That says it all. Stepping out, stepping up, and stepping over. St. Louis makes history at BYU Hawaii. What a match. From the first 4 points of set 4, St. Louis controlled it the rest of the way. And very similarly to what happened last night with St. Louis against IA in the semifinals, Crusaders win this one in 4. They make history here on the North Shore. And all those fans that have invested so much into this team, all that hard work paid off for this team. And Kev, they're never gonna forget this night.
I might not ever forget this night. There was something very different and very invigorating about that match.
And it had a little bit of everything, right? It had all the efforts and the makings of something special. Great defensive plays on both sides. Great coaching adjustments as well. When game plans and plans A, B, and C didn't work, they had to go to D, E, and F. And for this team like St. Louis and Keenan Paulos, I mean, what a moment for them.
Yeah, you could sense the weight of the situation, and I think what was really special, no one backed down from that weight, right? Everyone really embraced the challenge. Everyone really embraced how special an opportunity this was here tonight.
And take a look at the team right now on the floor. I mean, like, all smiles as they are ready to get their medals and get their championship moments here at the Cannon Activity Center. And we are fortunate enough to be joined death side with our Hawaii Honda dealers, Impact player. My guy, TJ Setzig. What's up, man?
How's it?
Congratulations on the win, man. All right, double-double. 15 kills, 10 digs here.
10 digs.
What does this moment mean to you and the rest of these guys?
It feels great. You know, me and my boys worked hard all season, and we just wanted to come back and, like, beat UH Lab. We got swept in the first time. We lost in a heartbreaking 5th set. And, you know, this one's for my papa, for real. We go out for my papa.
Why him?
Because he's been going through stuff. I don't know. He's going through stuff, sorry.
What's his name?
Pachoni.
Is he watching right now?
Yes, he's watching from the hospital right now.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he's very proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, Felipe. For real. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you think about your team and you think about how tough you are. What do you think, where does that come from? You pick yourselves back up off the ground after you guys lose? Where does that come from?
You know, St. Louis is just a bunch of dogs, for real. That's what I think. Yeah. You know, we have that dog mentality. We want to just come out and prove to the state that we're the best in the D2 and we're ready for D1, baby. Yes, sir.
You know what's interesting? You know, I've been watching you pretty much the entire season, especially last night. I don't think I've ever seen you flex more in a match than this one. Where does that energy come from within you? You always had it in you? Your family's like that? Where does that energy come from?
Like, yeah. I mean, I play football, so, you know,
exactly.
we get hype all the time.
Yeah.
And we just have dogs, for real.
Let's take a look at some of your highlights here on a 15 and 10 performance. Because, DJ, your phone is about to blow up in about 5 minutes right now, and what you did for your school and making them proud. I mean, this is a hard-working team this entire season.
Yes, sir.
Wow. This is just incredible. And his energy, Kev, was just so infectious.
Energy, confidence, explosiveness, the flexing. They're just dogs, Felipe. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Your first one, right?
Yeah, my first one.
Congratulations. Go
Hey,
get your
thank you so
get your
much.
medal, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, TJ
Thank you.
Setic, our Hawaii Honda Leaders Impact player. Let's take a look at our Hawaii Honda Leaders Impact player for University Laboratory. I tell you what, on this night, well, they needed everything here from Cole LeBoy. He gave his heart out, came up just a tad short, but his effort was spectacular. 20 kills.
The service pressure started the match right away. He did it with the passing, the hitting. I'll tell you, and he also really slowed down the match throughout and really was a great leader on the court as well.
All right, let's talk with the winning head coach now as he's recovering from that wild celebration. Keenan Paulo's third year with the program, first state title for this team. So the final point goes down. You have an embrace. All the emotion comes to you. What's going through your mind at that moment?
Since day one, we just believed in the brotherhood. It just means a lot, man, being an alumni, being my dad being an alumni, my papa being an alumni. These guys don't get opportunities, man. They believe in something, they can achieve something. University Lab played one heck of a match. That was the best team in the state, and that's all we can ask for. And going into the fourth set, I told them I had a dream we finished this in 4. I said the score was 25-17. I was 2 points off, but hey, they believed in something. They achieved it. This is for them, and this is for the school. This is not me. This is the school, the brotherhood. So it's just nuts.
You know, Keenan, I think that the most challenging thing is, right, you've lost to a team 2 times in the year, and yet you got to show the confidence, and you got to get them to believe in themselves. What was that journey to get there, and what did you tell them here tonight?
I told them there's 2 types of pressure. There's negative pressure and there's positive pressure. Last year being the #1 seed and winning the ILH, we had some negative pressure. We had expectations that we were supposed to achieve, and we came up short. This year we had positive pressure, coming in as the underdog, kind of like losing to them twice. They're, again, one heck of a team, well coached. Coming into the game, I told them, guys, throughout this entire season, we baked a cake last night. We iced it and put the cherry on it, and tonight we're just gonna eat. And these guys was hungry. They took it slice by slice, and we just ate. And this is what's to come. They can get their ice cream with the trophy, I guess. So.
Guys like Carson Lee, guys like TJ Setic, guys like Pupu Sepulona. I mean, all of it really came together. I mean, what can you say about this specific group this year and the work that you guys put in?
Most of these guys were my freshmen when I first came in. Carson was a freshman that I just told him, you're going to come up, play varsity, and play libero. TJ had no clue what volleyball was. Most of these guys have no clue what volleyball was. They're just believing in something. It's just trusting what we're trying to get accomplished. I got an amazing coaching staff. One of my best friends, my big brother, Justin Ole, had my back since day one. It's a family affair. My sister is my assistant coach. She's like my backbone. Without her, I would lose my mind. Coach Jaden, Coach Ray, Coach Meyer, Keenan Meyer, the same name. Wow. What a great name, I guess. But he's an alumni too. We were teammates back in 2011, 2010. So it's just a great brotherhood affair. Oh, they're gonna sing the alma mater. I'm gonna cry now.
Can you clear something up for us real quick?
Yes.
When we talked to TJ Setic, he said, "We just dogs." Is this a dog pound with this group?
I told him in the beginning, when we came into the tournament, we had him on a leash, and I told him tonight we're just gonna let the leash go and just go out there and be dogs, guys. Go get that thing. Yeah. And they just went out there and got it. We're just blessed to be a part of this opportunity, and we just accomplished something that can be historic. Nice. Whether we get another one in a few years or next year, we're gonna try to run it back. Most of the guys are back, but we're just gonna live in this moment for a bit.
You got any more Pepsi left, by the way?
What was that?
You got any more Pepsi left, by the way?
Everybody teases me, man. It's my Skittles, my Pepsi, my Monster, but they told me at the end of the third set I ran out of Skittles, so they got me more Skittles. I guess it's a positive thing for me.
Well, congratulations, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us here.
A great coach and a title going to Kalaipo Haku. Enjoy the next 12 months until the season begins again.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Keenan, congratulations. Congratulations. Keenan Paulos, the head coach of this St. Louis program. That image will kind of be burned in the brains of the brotherhood, and it'll last forever thanks to Keenan Paulo and that great staff. And Keenan Paulos has been a phenomenal coach going back to his days over at Les Jardins, and Well, that's just the appetizer for what is to come for the Division I championship as well. And so, you see moments like that, it just kind of makes you feel warm.
I saw so much of what he just described on the bench. It's so cool to hear the backstories. It's so cool to kind of get in the brain and the mind of not just a coach but his players. That was really fascinating.
All right, let's take a look at our Taco Bell play of the game. Through all of this wildness and zaniness and craziness, Carson doing it on the daily. Right down the line, just obliterates this one.
It doesn't even make sense, right? He's 5'10", and he looks like he's 6'10" on that play, bouncing it straight down. That was impressive.